So this is the Grim Gazette, which we're kicking off with a completely non-sequential kind of a weird way to kick this off. But if you come to the live recording on Tuesday night, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say panic. Don't clean anything yet. Get something to eat. Get something to eat. Even if it's just a sandwich from the local Panera, get something to eat. Then if you're feeling nervous and you want to clean your apartment, you go right ahead. But right now, get something to eat. Okay. This is the Grim Gazette, episode 5. And for those of you new to this, whether you're watching on the replay on YouTube or whether you're watching live on Twitch, every Tuesday night starting at 7-ish, you will know that the Grim Gazette is all about the paranormal, UFOs or UAPs, depending on how you were raised, cryptids, and just overall weird stuff that strikes my fancy. And I think this is probably one of the best ways to start off a brand new episode of the Grim Gazette. Caught at the border with pythons in his pants. New York City man.
This is great.
And
anyone want a hug?
Probation.
No hugs.
Python in the pants. Here we go.
That's what she said.
Exactly. Albany, New York. And a lot of these stories I'm getting from the AP. I'm getting these from the AP Newswire. Albany, New York. A New York City man who admitted to smuggling 3 Burmese pythons in his pants through a U.S.-Canadian border crossing was sentenced Wednesday to a year of probation and fined $5,000. Federal prosecutor said. Calvin Bautista, 38, crossed into northern New York with the hidden snakes on a bus from Montreal to New York City on July 5th, 2018. The young adult snakes were hidden in the inner thigh of his pants in snake bags tied to the pants drawstring. Woo! Okay. Can I get some giggities in chat? We are off and running. Can I get some giggities in chat?
You better settle down over there. I'm going to come talk to you.
They were discovered, oh dear Lord, they were discovered by U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers who are not getting paid enough. According to court documents and a release from the office of U.S. Attorney Carla B. Friedman. The Queens resident purchased the snakes, and I know right now if I've got anybody from the New York area, from the metro area, I'm sure they're going, oh, Queens, okay, that explains a lot. The Queens resident purchased the snakes, which were worth more than $2,500 at a reptile store in Canada, according to court documents. Importation of Burmese pythons is regulated by an international treaty and by U.S. federal regulations, listing them as injurious to human beings. And this guy is putting them in his pants. Well,
Hard no.
the Burmese python, one of the world's largest snakes, giggity, is considered a vulnerable species in its native Asia and is invasive in Florida, where it threatens native animals. Bautista's attorney had no comment.
Figured it.
Whew. I got a few of these, some from my wife, some from secondhand. We got quite a few of these here. Florida man. And we're off and running already. Florida man threw live gator in Wendy's drive-thru window, police say. West Palm Beach. Alligators have been used as shoes, briefcases, university mascots, lunch, and now authorities say a deadly weapon. Joshua James, 24, was arrested Monday and charged with assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill after Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation officials said he threw a 3.5-foot alligator through a Palm Beach County Wendy's drive-thru window in October. They must have gotten something wrong with his Frosty. And you know the rule, you don't f*** with another man's Frosty. He's also charged with illegally possessing an alligator and petty theft. Jail records show he was released on $6,000 bail Tuesday. He is ordered to have no contact with animals.
What could be greater than golf with a gator?
Gator golf, give it a whack. Gator golf,
Yeah.
throw it right back. Gator golf, what could be greater than playing a game of golf with a gator?
Wildlife officer Nicholas Guerin said in his report that James drove his pickup truck. It was a pickup truck, everybody. It was. The insanity writes itself. Wildlife officer Nicholas Green said in his report that James drove up in his pickup truck to the window at about 1:20 a.m. October 11th. After an employee handed James his drink, he threw the alligator through the window and drove off. No one was hurt. Guerin captured the alligator and released it into the wild. Guerin said James was tracked down through video surveillance and a purchase at a neighboring convenience store. Guerin wrote that James admitted throwing the alligator in a December interview. He said James told him he found the alligator on the side of the road and put it in his truck. James' mother, Linda James, told WPVT that her son's actions were a
stupid prank. He does stuff like this because he thinks it's funny.
She said. She said he meant no harm and had
no problem turning himself in.
That's how I'm picturing what the mom sounds like. No one answered the door at the homes listed to the James family. Phones listed to the family were disconnected. Good gravy. Whoo! We still haven't figured out exactly. We're assuming it's because he thought he was being funny. I would understand if somebody, effed up his Baconator or screwed up his Frosty or peed in his fries, but no, he's just trying to be funny. James P. Ross, a retired scientist at the University of Florida's Department of Wildlife Ecology Conservation, said a 3.5-foot alligator would likely weigh about 20 to 30 pounds. And its hard body could deliver quite a jolt if it struck someone. He said the gator's bite would be comparable to a dog's and would be unlikely to cause serious injury or snap off a finger, although it could tear tendons. Perhaps the biggest concern would be infection if a bite went untreated, he said. The alligator would be unlikely to attack people and more likely to be in a highly traumatized and frightened defensive mode, he said. It could, and quite likely would, snap and lunge at anyone approaching it closely and could project its head and jaws 12 to 18 inches in most any directions. I mean, I'm going to say with some confidence, meth may have been involved. Well, Yeah. I mean, it's like it's a bingo card, isn't it? It is a bingo card of different things. Male, Florida, pickup truck. They interview the mom. Nobody was at home. Phones are cut off. And the mom says he does it because he thinks it's funny. Okay. Okay. You do you, boo. You do you. All right. Now, how do you follow this up? Well, again, Wendy's drive-through AM. Yes, that too, Lizard. That's on the bingo card. And all it was he picked up a drink and then he threw the gator. I mean, I guess. Where is he keeping this thing? How is this gator, this 20 to 30 pound, 3.5-foot gator, how is it not trying to work its way? Where did he keep this thing? On the dash, in the passenger seat? Was it one of those pickup trucks that had the compartment in the back? I want to know. Because man, if I would be that guy, that thing would have gone underneath my seat and taken out my ankles. It was a lap puppy. Probably. So how do you follow this up? Well, this is how you follow it up. And I got sent this again several times. At the Florida Man Games, big crowd cheer competitors evading police and wrestling over beer. Yeah, it's America, everybody. It's friggin' America. Woo. at the Florida Man Games. I think we should probably watch the video. We should probably watch the video. Yep. The most insane athletic showdown on earth.
They gotta steal that, Blau. Don't lose the parts, please. They gotta steal that. They gotta ride with these two. Here's where it gets tricky. Sure, you swerve through those cones. He did not a chance to catch up with you here on this one. Swerve through those cones. 3, 2, 1, fight!
Here we go. Sloppy's gonna take some big swing.
Oh, that is. I'm just trying to think of the smell coming out of that pool.
What brings you here today?
To watch stupidity occur on the grandest spectacular scale.
What brings you out here today?
To win. I've been in Florida my whole life.
I've got a bid, you can lose a battery.
And they're calling these events. I'm calling this Tuesday afternoon.
What prepares somebody for the Florida Man game?
Experience. Being in Florida. After 3 years, all I did for income was scrapping. So, I mean, the end of one of our events is hitching a trailer. Do that 4 or 5 times a day. So, in the end, I think experience will ultimately overcome and bring home a victory.
Let's go.
The expected ticket sales to exceed 5,000. Do they say how many they sold? Don't worry, there's more. St. Augustine, Florida. No, they used clean water and then just threw dirt in there and I guess mixed it up. That was what I was, because if you look behind the pool, there was some just random dirt back there. St. Augustine, Florida. They rose up by the dozens from across Florida. Caricatured competitors in tank tops and cutoff shorts for a showdown that treats evading police and wrestling over beer like Olympic sports. Promoted as the most insane athletic showdown on earth, the Florida Man Games poke fun at the state's reputation for bizarre stories that involve brawling, drinking, gunfire, reptile wrangling, and other antics carrying a risk of time in jail or intensive care. The games kicked off with a Star-Spangled Banner played on electric guitar, and spectators sipping canned beers behind metal barricades cheered and frequently shouted explicatives as a dozen teams battled in contest inspired by real events from America's most surreal state. James Gordon of DeLand won the first event, wolfing down a plate loaded with barbecue pork and sausage a fraction of a second before his nearest competitor. He chugged a beer to celebrate. I lived in Florida all my life, Gordon said, after washing sauce from his hands and beard. They're calling these events. I'm calling this Tuesday afternoon.
Thursday is one of my days off. My off days, I start drinking at noon. You don't get to interrupt that.
One event had contenders dueling in muddy water in an inflatable pool, pummeling each other with weapons made from pool noodles and duct tape. Another was a theft simulation relay in which competitors raced while toting a pair of bicycles, copper pipes, and catalytic converters. Larry Donnelly trained for the relay race by riding a bicycle around his neighborhood with a second bike strapped to his back. That is what you call commitment. It paid off Saturday when he won his heat after picking up a bike in each hand and running with them. I have an absolute disregard for self-preservation. I will do anything, says Donnelly, 42, who owns a St. Augustine pressure washing business and serves as captain of the 5-man team Hanky Spanky. When I was in the military, oh dear God, this guy was in the military. I did a little alligator wrestling. Other events include contenders wrestling sumo style while holding pitchers of beer, or running from actual sheriff's deputies. While running from actual sheriff's deputies.
Flo, we've discussed this. Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Chief, she's
Coffee and contemplation.
While jumping fences and avoiding obstacles, others face a scramble to grab cash flying in simulated hurricane winds. Now that would be kind of fun, I would imagine. That would be fun. Because I've been in one of those hurricane simulators, one of those booths that it basically is it's a little wind machine that you stand in. And it kicks up the wind to roughly, I think it goes as high as 75 miles an hour. So yeah, spectators paid real money, $45 per ticket or more, to watch the games at Francis Field in downtown St. Augustine. Yusuf Shihibi said he and his wife made the 180-mile, that's 290 kilometers for my friends overseas, trip from Port St. Richie to watch stupidity occur on the grandest, most spectacular scale. Organizer Pete Melfi said he expected ticket sales to exceed 5,000. He said he was stunned to find nobody else had beaten him to the ripped from the headlines idea for a sport spoof event, or a spoof sporting event, however you want to read it. We kind of gave a person an opportunity to live a day in the life of Florida man without ending up in a cop car, said Melfi, who runs the St. Augustine media outlet The 904 Now. But he had to tone down some racier aspects of the Florida man mythos to obtain a permit. There's typically drugs and nudity, he said, but the city frowned on it when asked for drugs and nudity.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Man. The Florida man phenomenon seeped into the nation's conscience thanks in part to a Twitter account started in 2013 with the handle _Florida man. The account touted real-life stories of the world's worst superhero, sharing news headlines such as Florida man bites dog to establish dominance and Florida man tried to pay for McDonald's with weed. Florida's claim to being the strangest state goes back much further, said journalist Craig Pittman, who wrote the book, Oh, Florida, How America's Weirdest Influences the Rest of the Country. He noted that the first flag to fly over its capital in 1845 bore the motto, leave us alone. Apparently nobody listened. Florida today has 22 million residents, the third largest population of any U.S. state. They also share roads, beaches, and timeshares with more than 130 million tourists per year. You cram that many people together, they're bound to start running into each other's cars and chasing each other's machetes. Let's be careful with the criticism and the stereotypical judgment of machetes.
This is great.
We should.
Anyone want a hug?
Any?
No hugs.
Anyway. Pittman noted there have been plenty of crazy stories featuring Florida women, and plenty of them turned out to watch the game Saturday. Sally Yarborough and her daughter, Danielle, got tickets as a Christmas gift from their boss, along with a case of vodka.
Seriously, Lana, call Kenny Loggins, because you're in the danger zone.
Hopefully more women will be here like us, Danielle Yarborough said. We're usually the only rowdy ones. The only women's event Saturday was a Florida Ma'am pinup contest. That should change if the games continue, said Lori Ice Fetrick, a former competitor of the 1990s show American Gladiators, who served as a judge at the Florida Man Games. I personally believe we need the Florida Women Games, Fettick told the crowd, which cheered its approval. Or maybe put women against the men. Leading up to Saturday, Joshua Barr and his... I don't know if I can say that on here. I don't know if I can... So we'll just say Joshua Barr and his commandos teammates spent time whipping up a fan support on Facebook with posts showing the trio chugging Pabst Blue Ribbon beer and jogging in jean shorts and mirrored sunglasses.
Unleash the fury!
Their team name comes from a turtle species celebrated by their hometown of Inverness. The Commandos didn't stop with online promotion and trash talking of rival teams. Barr, a 37-year-old movie reviewer and podcaster, said they also printed t-shirts, temporary tattoos, and a large custom flag to wave on the field. We might be taking it more seriously than most people, Barr said. You kind of just have to be a part of the joke at this point.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Do we need a moment, everybody? Do we need to like, you know, catch our breaths or anything like that?
I suggest you let that one marinate.
I mean, wow. Don't worry. I've got the follow-up. How do you top Florida Man? I'm glad you asked. From our neighbors across the pond. Here's how we top Florida Man. Police called to Willy Wonka inspired experience in Glasgow as families demand refunds. Organizer House of Illuminati. Feel the need to say that again. Organizer House of Illuminati was forced to cancel the weekend event midway through its first day on Saturday and has promised full refunds. Traditionally, Florida Man is topped with a wife beater. No, we're actually going to recount the adventures of the Willy Wonka inspired experience in Glasgow. And here it is. Here it is, everyone. Here it is. There's got to be a way I can minimize this. Come on. Really? Okay. There we go. A Willy Wonka-inspired experience was brought to a halt following complaints it was an absolute shambles of an event and left children in tears. Parents criticized the £35 a ticket event at Box Hub in Glasgow after being promised a chocolate fantasy like never before, where dreams become reality. Oh, you're back with you're back with ice cream. Let's go. At least somebody is coming out ahead of the deal because, you know, right now this.
Figured it.
And if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die.
Oh, and I think should be pointed out for those of us here in the States, 35 pounds is roughly about $40. So it's $40 a ticket. Despite advertisements pledging a journey filled with wondrous creations and enchanting surprises, families instead described the experience as absolutely appalling and a waste of money on social media. Organizer House of Illuminati was forced to cancel the weekend event midway through its first day on Saturday and has promised full refunds.
Unleash the fury!
A Police Scotland spokesperson said officers were called to the canceled event and, quote, advice was given. Stuart Sinclair, 29, traveled 2 hours from Dundee with his 2 sons and 4-year-old daughter to the event. They were one of hundreds of families that had purchased tickets, with many later demanding a refund. Mr. Sinclair told Sky News, the promos, descriptions all sounded fantastic. It was far from that. On arrival, the family were met with a near-empty venue, decorated with a handful of Wonka-themed props and a small bouncy castle. Ooh.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
So here's what I was looking for, because I forgot to pull this up. Another photograph from Mr. Sinclair. And there's the bouncy castle in the back. And here's the thing. I was like, what? Why does this sound so familiar? And sure enough, Twitch Mom read my mind. This is why I had to take a break, because I forgot to pull this up. Now, if you're curious, TumblrCon, yes, or some memes will remain in infamy, and the picture of that ball pit is rivaled only by the bouncy castle in the back, and these folks with their kids. Oh man. $40 seems fair. Better be a hell of a bouncy castle is what I got to say. Okay, so if you're curious as to what this is pertaining to, I'm going to go ahead and just... Oh, no, I'm not going to go to my D2 picker armor. How'd that happen? I'm going to go to this. How a failed... This is an entirely separate story, but I'm just going to give everybody reference if you don't have it. How a failed Tumblr convention became one of the most important social media lessons of the 2010s. Editor's note, seeing an original series of the 2010s looks back at a turbulent era marked by extraordinary political and social upheaval. New episodes air at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Sundays. When the first generations of social media natives are old and gray, they will bounce their grandchildren on their knee and tell them about the old days when Facebook was just for college kids and Twitter wasn't a place for world-altering political discourse. As their rummy gazes search the distant past, they recall another titan of that lawless age. Then there was Tumblr, they'll wheeze. Man, that place was weird. Though the blogging platform is still active, Tumblr's unquestionable heyday passed in the mid-2010s. It was and still is hailed as a crucible of nerddom, where young people gathered to trade memes, pop culture observations, poems, musing, fanfiction, art, and absurdist jokes, and they forgot porn, to satisfy even the most niche communities. Years of Tumblr discourse have helped shape current structures of entertainment fandoms, social justice language, queer subcultures, and all manner of special interests one might see at a comic book convention or a Marvel movie premiere. However, in 2014, its denizens learned a hard lesson when some forward-thinking users thought to gather this amorphous mass of creativity and recreate it in real life. The result was DashCon, an attempt to bring together Tumblr users from different interests and fandoms for a single event. The idea was similar to the already popular VidCon, which focuses on YouTube celebrities, or any number of fan conventions around the world that have been going strong for decades. DashCon would not reach such great heights. It was a legendary failure, plagued by the low attendance and mismanagement, summed up in one iconic image of a single sad child ball pit on a hotel convention room floor. Just, let's soak that in, everybody. The teenager who started it all, to say DashCon was a failure is a simple fact. Whose failure was exactly is a thornier question. The idea can be traced back to Lachlan O'Neill, who was only 17 at the time DashCon took place. Like so many other Tumblr users, O'Neill was just a nerdy teenager with cool interests, looking for other people like her. She started using Tumblr in 2012, and it took her a while to really figure out what the platform was for. I saw one of my neighbor's accounts where she would just post pictures of hipster hairstyles and One Direction members, and I thought, what's this even for? But my friend assured me it was cool that you could blog about whatever you wanted, O'Neill told CNN. O'Neill, who is now a costume designer and also works at an exotic animal sanctuary, always had an interest in small animal husbandry. I started on Tumblr writing blogs about mouse genetics, she said. My blog was called Mice Are Nice. O'Neill's Tumblr experience began markedly better once she sussed out what kinds of interests were big on the platform. She'd always been a fan of Harry Potter and had started getting into cosplay, anime, and the Avengers, all extremely popular subjects among Tumblr users. Over time, she even met one of her best friends on the platform after searching content about her hometown. I was always kind of an outsider. I didn't really have the ability to connect with people, and I didn't know why, she said. But when I met my best friend, I was like, well, there must be more people like me on Tumblr. There must be more people like her on Tumblr. She noticed this pattern a lot. People forming strong bonds with virtual strangers online over things that really mattered to them. Things that they didn't have a network for in their everyday lives. I saw these posts and I thought, what if there was a Tumblr convention? What if I made a Tumblr convention? And then all of you could also have friends. So if you want to read this story, I will put a link in the show notes over on YouTube. But basically, this was the grand gathering that would be DashCon, and I think that was the yeah. These are actual pictures from DashCon. It was an epic failure. I remember when everything went down online, and man, what a crash and burn. What a crash and burn. And that memory came flooding back to me when I was reading this. And I got to say, I found this on, of all places, I found this on Threads. I found this story on my own on Threads. For anybody that's just coming in late, there was a Willy Wonka inspired experience in Glasgow. It was not as advertised. So here we go. Let's get back to it. Thank you, Mr. Sinclair, for all these incredible photos. Mr. Sinclair said his children only received a couple of jelly babies and a quarter of a can of Bar's Limeade. $40 a ticket, or 35 pounds for those friends in Glasgow. He said the older boys, aged 9 and 10, took the disappointment well. My little girl was a bit disappointed because she was looking forward to it, as she's only 4, but the boys just laughed it off because of how bad it was, he said. Look, kids, it's like you're actually there. It's like you're actually there. Mr. Sinclair described it as an absolute shambles of an event. He added, I've never seen anything like it. It was definitely an experience. According to the event's website, Willy's Chocolate Experience promised an enchanted garden with giant sweeps, vibrant blooms, mysterious-looking sculptures, and magical surprises, as well as live performances with charming characters singing original catchy tunes. The exhilarating and immersive adventure should have also featured a twilight tunnel and imagination lab, where the boundaries between reality and fantasy harmoniously merge. One woman wrote on Facebook she laughed so much the whole way around, while another said she laughed at how bad it was. Another person posted, it was a very simple setup with cheap backdrops around it. She added, it's definitely worth doing your homework for buying into these events. Thankfully, our barns, our kids, just embraced the whole thing and weren't too disappointed. Oh, and great idea to have a person dressed in a terrifying outfit to come out and scare all the kids. They were all crying. It was terrible, shocking, and embarrassing, to be honest, wrote one parent. Sold a dream and delivered a nightmare, wrote another. In a Facebook post on Saturday night, House of Illuminati said, today has been a very stressful and frustrating day for many, and for that we are truly sorry. Unfortunately, last minute we were let down in many areas of our event and tried our best to continue on and push through, and now realize we probably should have canceled first thing this morning instead. We fully apologize for what had happened, and we'll be giving full refunds to each and every person that purchased tickets. It said it had planned a fabulous event, but it just did not take shape. The spokesperson added, we are devastated at how this has turned out and understand people's anger and frustration that everyone has had. It said refunds could take up to 10 working days. Mr. Sinclair said, I've had no money back yet, but the company have said they're issuing them. I'll have to wait and see. So, you think that's enough? Oh no, chat, because guess what I found in my research on this story? I found their website. I found the website, chat. I found the website. And no, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they are not in public domain, which is why it's called Willy's Chocolate Experience. It's not Willy Wonka. It is not Willy and the Chocolate Factory. It is Willy's Chocolate Experience. And because of the recent film with Muad'Dib himself, Wonka is off there as well. So, Willy's Chocolate Experience. Let's delve into let's delve into the artwork of this, shall we? This is just the homepage. This is just the homepage. Oh, the chocolate factory is in public domain in 2060. Oh, in 2060, yes. Indulge in a chocolate fantasy like never before. Capture the enchantment. Tickets to Willy's Chocolate Experience are on sale now. Hey, let's go. Dive into the whimsical of Willy's Chocolate Experience, a place where chocolate dreams become reality. Book your adventure now and embark on a journey filled with wondrous creations and enchanting surprises at every turn. I'm just gonna leave this image up here from the website. Just you know.
I suggest you let that one marinate.
Your journey begins in an enchanted garden with giant sweets, vibrant blooms, mysterious-looking sculptures, and magical surprises that add an extra layer of wonder to your chocolatey experience. Navigate through peculiar but enchanting garden collection, delicious beans of all colors, shapes, and sizes. Who knows? Perhaps you might be able to grow your very own enchanting garden. And you noticed that you notice how this is AI art. You think this might be the worst AI. How are you doing there, Sonny? This might be the worst AI art gone bad, because take a look at this bunny right here. I'm not sure what happened to this bunny, but it looked like this bunny been punched a few times. Some of these fruits have like one eye. The enchanted fruit have eyes. You've seen worse? Oh, wait for it. Here's the ad for the Imagination Lab. And shout out when you see it. Shout out when you see it. Imagination Lab. I'll read the accompanying text. In the Imagination Lab, prepare to be captivated by a visual spectacle. Encounter mind-expanding projections, optical marvels, and exhibits that transport you into the realm of creativity. This space invites you on a surreal journey where the boundaries between reality and fantasy harmoniously merge, resulting in an enchanting and visually striking encounter. Brace yourself for an adventure that would leave you spellbound. I've seen worse. I used to search DeviantArt pages. Yeah, but Sonny sees it. Sonny sees it. It's Imagination Lab. Or Imagination Lab. Wow. Yeah. And then there's the Twilight Tunnel, which they almost got right. I'm not sure why it only has the one quote here, but let's talk about the Twilight Tunnel. Oh, and because it was in Glasgow, in the Twilight Tunnel, get ready for an exhilarating and immersive adventure.
Anyone want a hug?
Journey.
No hugs.
No hugs. No hugs, you wee brat. Journey through a dimly lit passage, adorned with captivating projections, enigmatic sounds, and surprising turns that will immerse you in suspense and excitement. It's a heart-pounding experience you've never experienced before. Nice job on the typography here. I'm not from Glasgow, but somehow I'm still offended. Okay, why?
You better settle down over there. I'm going to come talk to you.
You know, I mean, I can only assume the Twilight Tunnel is supposed to be inspired by the tunnel, that horrific tunnel experience in the film, that was in the film. The text even sounds like it was from ChatGPT. Well, you notice too that it probably was ChatGPT, because you notice that nobody checked the spacing here or anything like that. But yeah, Twilight Tunnel. I don't know what they were planning, but it sounded pretty cool. Again, we've got AI art Akindo, absolutely phenomenal. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna go back and get. I'm gonna get some proper music behind this. Actually, we can change.
Secret tunnel through the mountains.
Secret tunnel. Yeah.
Yeah. Secret tunnel, baby. Secret tunnel. Oh, there was just a pause in the music. Okay. I will keep going. Now here's a good one. Okay. Entertainment. Captivating. I don't know if that was what the AI was trying to do, was captivating, but it's entertainment. Experience captivating live performances featuring charming characters singing original catchy tunes, marvel extraordinary props, oversized lollipops, and a paradise of sweet treats. This event guarantees an immersive and delightful entertainment experience suitable for ages 3 years old. 2 periods. And then the crazy frog. Where's the crazy frog? Did I miss the crazy frog? Where's the crazy frog? I see the I see the bear with the growth coming out of its face, and the clown with the melting face. Where's the frog? I'm trying to find the crazy frog. I don't see the frog. The horse almost, but then take a look at this. I don't know what this is, but man, the AI that they were using must have been like having a seizure. Catting, live performances, Karchi tons, exorcerdre lollipops, a paradise of sweet teats.
Follow them to glory.
And you see, this is why this is the world that we have been thrust into with oh, here we go. Lightning, dim tight, depractions, view sounds. See, when you see stuff like this, you got to stop and go, okay, wait. We got to wait and see what this is. If their QA is this good, no wonder this whole thing was a disaster. No kidding. I mean, this kind of works, and then you get here, and you could probably miss like the mutant bunny faces, but then when you get down here to, you might even miss, because I missed Imagination Lab. I missed Imagination, but I started to pay a little closer attention when I was like, hey, wait a second. If we've got mutant faces in here, I might want to look a little closer. Yep. And then this almost was passable, but then I don't know what this is supposed to be. I do not know. Enigmatic. We all love some enigmatic sounds. So yeah. This should have been where it stopped. This should have been where people have been like, wait a minute. A paradise of sweet teats. A paradise of sweet teats. But this is what AI is this is what I think AI is doing. One, it's doing its best. But people who are producing this AI, and this is what happens when you don't hire a proper artist. We'll do it ourselves. And you're hoping that your brain skims through that, goes flying by that, and they see a paradise of sweet treats, not a paradise of sweet teats. Everybody loves a Karchi too, honey. And then, but what's really frightening is these folks are still in business. They have not taken this down. Yet. So I started clicking, and it's basically the same. Again, it's the same pages. Location, Box Hub Warehouse. I'll do it myself or write a better prompt. But the URL for tickets is not found. Okay, well, at least they've got that going for them, which is nice. Frequently asked questions. Hey, let's take a look. What can I expect? Oh, here we go. What can I expect from Willy's Chocolate Experience? roughly the same copy as what we've already seen. What does the ticket include? Entry to the experience for any person 4 years old. Family ticket. Man, this is terrible. Yeah. Do your freaking homework, people. Do your freaking homework. Will you have more dates in the future? Should there be a capacity when you arrive, then you will be able to enter without any problems. In the event that this is not the case, we may ask you to wait a bit. Yeah. Sam, you're right. This is ChatGPT. This is obviously some ChatGPT. What is the refund exchange policy? Tickets are not refundable. The terms and conditions of non-refundable tickets are agreed upon prior to purchase. In special circumstances, we can help you change your ticket for another day. Whew. Oh, man. Is there a dress? What safety measures? Well, okay, let's see. Oh, my God. Wow. Wow. Yeah, this one was definitely a gem. Whew. Okay, let's get a palate cleanser after that one. This one, this one I just found really unique. This one I found really unique. Brunel, Isle of Skye Lost Village unveiled after tree felling operation in Glen Brittle. Records showed the settlement, referred to as Brunel, was once bustling with around 2,250 people who farmed cattle, sheep, and horses. So basically, they were just clearing out some forestry, and they discovered a lost town. The ruins of a lost village dating back to the 17th or 18th century have been unveiled following a special forestry operation on the Isle of Skye. The remains of house, byres, barns, and corn drying kilns in Glen Brittle have been hidden from view by a commercial Sitka spruce plantation planted in 1977. Forestry and Land Scotland commissioned an archaeological survey of the site before the trees were harvested. Records showed the settlement, referred to as Brunel, was once bustling with around 2,250 people who farmed cattle, sheep, and horses to pay their rents and supply themselves with necessities. In a later census, the population had decreased to 1,769 and continued to drop. It is believed the site eventually fell into ruin due to the system of incorporating smaller farms into one large tack for sheep grazing. FLS said the township was deserted by the time the first ordnance survey, which depicted only 2 unroofed buildings and a field on the 1881 map. That's kind of cool. I find that incredibly cool. All right. I was looking for my office visit notes in my cardiology appointment. When I was referred to this diagnostic test, the notes say oxygen therapy type room air. Did I get charged for breathing air in the examination room? I did not receive oxygen. You might want to ask somebody about that. If you're getting charged for like oxygen, it better be the good stuff. I mean, I've had oxygen before, and yeah, that's good stuff. It's great stuff for you, actually. So yeah.